Instead of seeking closure from somebody else or looking for clarity from somebody else, here's three things that you can do. Instead of hoping for somebody to tell you the truth or to open up their heart for you, give yourself permission to open up your heart. Find yourself a safe space where you can speak about how you felt, how things have affected you, what's going on for you on an emotional level, what's happening for you in your mental space, whether that is a therapist, somebody that you trust, a friend, even if it's the pages of your journal, give yourself the space to reflect without judgment. The second thing that you can do is a digital detox. A lot of the times we're holding on to memories that are deeply rooted in a fantasy of what we wanted, not necessarily the reality of what we had. So the pictures that you took together, the nice messages, all of those kind of things. And it's really important to do this when you feel ready to do it. But it's also important to recognize when you're holding on to something that isn't real. Delete those messages, delete those pictures, the social media, all of that. I know the girlies are telling us not to block people. I have a completely different opinion about that. I think if somebody doesn't belong in your life, if somebody isn't deserving of having access to you, then block them. The third thing kind of ties into the second point as well, which is letting go of the fantasy. Start to realize where you were seeing the potential of somebody or the potential of what something could be, rather than the reality of what somebody really was and the reality of the relationship that you had. A lot of the times, the love and the feelings that we are kind of attributing to somebody else, they're our own feelings, they're our own emotions. It's a lot to do with how we felt about the person, how we valued that person. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they felt the same way. And when you're able to start stripping away the fantasy, you can see the reality of, how did this person show up for you? Did they even show up for you? How did they show that they cared about you? Were they emotionally available to you? Did they open up? Were they vulnerable? Did they make any sacrifices for you? When you strip away the fantasy of what you wanted and what you were craving for, you're able to see who they really were and what the relationship really was. So instead of seeking clarity outside of yourself, seek it within yourself. Do it within the confines of your own emotions and what you need as a person without seeking it from somebody else.